Plaintiff Ella Jelks says the defendant is her daughter, and she claims after giving up custody of her children to her mother, they were taken away and put into foster care as a result of Ella's destructive lifestyle. Ella's suing her daughter for a damaged tire, a broken window, and emotional distress. Defendant Ashley Jelks says she and her siblings were taken away from Ella because she was physically abusive. And when Ashley moved back in with her mother recently, the abuse continued. She's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Give me some background here.
Well, Your Honor, I know I wasn't a perfect mother. I became a mother at 16 years old. In the midst of that, I gave full-blown custody to my mom after my dad died because I was getting in trouble constantly with the law and joining gangs and stuff.
Why do you think you were doing that?
Because my dad died. So I didn't have no one to talk to or anything, so.
What years were those?
That was back in 2010.
Okay, well, people were going to grief counseling regularly back then. Your mother never suggested that you go to counseling?
No.
Okay, well, I understand. Most people don't think of that option. Many people don't. But grief counseling is very important. Go ahead. So you started living a destructive lifestyle after you lost your father?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2012, my kids got taken into foster care. And I was fighting to get my kids back, but they kept denying me because all they seen was my background. So
over the course of how long did they deny you?
Since 2010 to 2017.
Because of a criminal record in the past?
Yes.
Okay, like what? Because this is highly unusual just because a person has a criminal record. Because they would have took my kids.
They took my kids because...
And they wouldn't give them back either if it was based on my record.
They took my kids because I whooped two of my sons. And they took me to jail for child abuse. That's why they took them. But past between that was because I was fighting. That's all I did was fight. Then after they took my kids.
No, we're talking about giving them back. I know that they took them because you were living a destructive lifestyle. I'm saying for the 7 years you've tried and they've said no how many times?
4 times.
And how long ago was it that you completed your sentence?
2014.
And they've turned you down 4 times?
Yes.
And each time they say it's because of the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
In the midst of that, because my child father, they gave him sole custody, so I was fighting with him, and they kept denying me for custody.
Right, but you said because you have a record.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. Did you ever ask, do they ever give people custody who have a record in the past so that you can stop going?
No, I didn't ask them. I didn't know anything about the court laws or anything like that. So.
You on the internet?
Yes.
All right. Go to Google. Go to Google and find out that legal process, ma'am. Look up legal process to have children returned. Okay. And you can read up on some of the things. And if you don't feel that you can get a good understanding of what you're reading, then have somebody else you know. I'm sure you got other folks who would be able to get a good understanding of what you need to do to get your children back. Because I just don't believe that they would never give you your children back because you have a record. And 7 years is way too long to keep someone's children away from them because of the record they had in the past. And so that's what I would advise you, because you just said you don't know anything about the court process. And when you don't know anything about the court process, you might not be doing it correctly. And that might be why you're not getting your kids, because of a criminal record in the past.
Yes.
Because this is highly unusual, just because a person has a criminal record. Because they would have took my kids.
They took my kids because...
And they wouldn't give them back either if it was based on my record.
Plaintiff Ella Jelks is suing her daughter, who claims she was taken away from Ella as a child because Ella was physically abusive.
And how was she as a daughter?
She was a good daughter. She was wonderful. And as she was growing up, she was quiet. She was always to herself. She liked to paint people nails, and she liked to read books. She was teaching people of her age how to read.
Good.
Like-
She finished high school, obviously.
Yes, and I'm very proud of her for doing that.
What did she do after high school?
High school, she got a job. That's freeze right now.
Doing what?
Retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't suggest she go to school if she was that smart?
Yeah, she filled out applications. They haven't got back to her yet.
Okay. All right. So let me hear from you, young lady.
So I lived with my mom up to 4 or 5 years old. I got taken out of my home because she would mentally, physically, and emotionally abuse me and all of my siblings. So we were removed from the home for that. And I stayed and jumped from foster care to foster care with my sister because we were separated from our other siblings. After a while, I moved in with my dad in 2014, and that's when she reached out and said that she wanted to be in our lives again. So we gave her a chance.
How old were you, or when had she last reached out to your understanding prior to 2014?
So first time it was when I was living in Louisiana. She
What
bought
year?
me and my sister. I think it was 2014, 2013. She bought me and my sister phones so she could text us.
Before then, though, I know you said 2014 when
Yeah.
you all went to live with your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Before then, did
She never tried to reach out, no. After we lived with our dad.
From age 4 to age 14, you never heard from her?
No. And then, yeah, she reached
Don't
out.
want to tell the judge that, yeah, they wouldn't give her back. Go ahead.
We reached out. She reached out to us.
Reach out. Go
And
ahead, ma'am.
we were talking, and she said that she was doing better and that she wanted to be back in our lives. So when we moved back to Minnesota, she was like, you should come live with me. I'm doing better. You'll do way better here. And I did. I gave her a chance. I went.
When she said do better, what did you think she was referring to?
Because I had to find a way to and from work by myself. And I was in cheer in high school and sports, and I had to walk to and from school with carrying everything. And she said it would be better because I would have a ride, I would have a good job,
okay.
transportation,
Yeah.
and all that
Quality
stuff.
of life would
and
be better for you.
Do stuff that mothers with mothers.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a lie. She still physically, mentally, and emotionally abused me every day. She gaslighted me. She,
When?
Recently, I just moved with her in November. The first week.
This is the first time you've lived with her since you were a little girl.
Yes.
And she did all this promising. And you said when you first moved in with her.
Yes. The first week I moved in, she tossed all my stuff out of her car. I have evidence. It's page 1.
Man, is any of this she's saying true?
I did take her stuff out
Something is wrong with you.
No.
Yes, yes. Did you hear what your daughter just said about you?
Yes, Your
She said
Honor.
you were nothing but an abuser. Time she came to you, you did nothing but the same thing over and over and over.
She don't even know I fought for
Did
her.
you do this to her in November? Save the tears.
No.
Nobody cares about you crying. We care about her and the other child that you abandoned because of your abuse. You come in here crying on somebody's shoulder. The judge won't give them back. The judge won't. Big hand to that judge because you heard what just happened? And everybody heard that time she came back to her mama, she got the same treatment that she did when they removed them from you. Coming here crying on somebody's shoulder, the judge won't give them back, the judge won't. Big hand to that judge, because you heard what just happened, and everybody heard that time she came back to her mama, she got the same treatment that she did when they removed them from you.
Plaintiff Ella Jelks is suing her daughter, who claims she was taken away from Ella as a child because Ella was physically abusive.
Do you want to explain yourself? Do you want to address what she just said?
The time she came back, I let her use my car. And she came back with my car, and my 2 other little children was in there like, Mom, your car is sizzling. It sounds like there's a snake in there. I asked Ashley, what's the sizzling sound? She cussed at me. She was constantly cussing at me, talking about, I don't know, and stuff like that. So at the midst of me getting for work and finna go to work, I see my tire is
No, I
busted.
said, did you abuse? Did you do anything? She said, you skipped right over that.
No, I just took her stuff.
All right, do you owe her? You believe?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I believe her. I believe she's telling the truth, and I believe you're lying. So I'm going to grant her judgment, her counterclaim for emotional distress, and I'm going to dismiss you. Have a good day.
I want to say I truly do hate you. I'm 18. I should be with my friends. I should be walking the streets, exploring, traveling. But all you do is put me through hell every day. I truly hate you. You're supposed to be a mother. I should not be going through this. You put me through depression. I hate that I have to wake up and look at you every day. I hate that I have to live with you.
Ashley, I'm sorry that you think this. I've been trying to reach out since you was 4 or 5. I did everything for you, Ashley. I did everything for your siblings. I don't understand you portraying me as this person. I love you, Ashley. I've been trying to get a mother and daughter relationship with you. So I apologize that you hate me. I apologize that you think worse of me.